Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I need you to listen carefully, because what I'm about to reveal isn't something women want you to understand. It's the truth that hides in silence, in distance, and in the subtle power shift that happens the moment you stop chasing. Have you ever noticed how a woman suddenly pays attention when you're no longer available? How she questions, gets restless, even angry when you're no longer running after her? This is not an accident. This is psychology, deep, raw, and far more powerful than most men are ever taught. You see, ignoring a woman works not because you're cruel, but because it disrupts the invisible contract she expects you to follow. From childhood, women are conditioned to believe they can command attention with beauty, with charm, with presence. And most men, maybe even you, fall straight into that trap. You see her smile, her body, her approval, and you give her what she craves. Your energy, your time, your pursuit. But what happens when you stop? What happens when silence replaces validation? The ground beneath her shakes. Her sense of control slips. Suddenly, she's not certain of her power anymore. That unease she feels, that's desire being reignited. Because women don't crave what's guaranteed. They crave what feels rare, what feels uncertain, what feels like it could be lost. When you ignore her, you don't just withhold attention, you spark curiosity. You force her to question her own value. She begins to think, why isn't he chasing me? Who else has his focus? Am I not as special as I thought? And in that storm of self-doubt, attraction burns hotter than ever. But don't misunderstand. Ignoring a woman is not about childish games. It's not about coldness, disrespect, or manipulation. It's about reclaiming the power you've been handing away without realizing it. It's about understanding that attention is the most valuable currency you own. Every look, every text, every response, you're either raising her value of you or lowering it. And when you choose silence at the right moments, you shift from the desperate man begging for her validation to the man she fights to earn. Men who master this balance don't just get noticed, they command respect. And respect, my friend, is the foundation of lasting attraction. Now think about this. Why do women chase men who pull away, yet lose interest in men who give them everything too quickly? It's because human psychology is wired to value what seems scarce and dismiss what feels abundant. When you're always available, always responding, always giving, you're abundant, you're predictable, and predictability kills attraction. Ignoring, on the other hand, creates scarcity. It signals that your time, your presence, and your attention are not free. They must be earned. Imagine this scenario. A man texts a woman all day, compliments her constantly, drops everything to see her. At first, she enjoys it. But soon, his attention becomes background noise. She knows he'll always be there. She knows she doesn't have to do anything to keep him. The excitement fades. Now imagine another man. He's kind, he's respectful, but he doesn't overexpose himself. He answers when he chooses, not out of desperation. He doesn't seek her validation, he lets her seek his. Which man do you think she feels pulled toward? Which man sparks her imagination, her insecurity, her hunger to be chosen? Always the one who values himself first. Ignoring a woman works because it forces her to confront something uncomfortable, that she isn't the center of your universe. And this unsettles her. You see, women are masters of testing men, often without realizing it. They'll push to see if you'll break. They'll withhold attention, delay responses, flirt with others, all to gauge your emotional strength. When you respond with neediness, they know you're weak. But when you stay calm, detached, even silent, they realize you're unshakable. That is the seed of respect. But here's the deeper truth. Ignoring only works if it's rooted in genuine self-worth. If you're pretending, if you're biting your nails while waiting for her to text, if you're filled with panic while you force silence, she'll feel it. Women are intuitive. They sense desperation hidden under fake indifference. The key is not to fake strength, but to build it. To actually become the man who doesn't need her attention to feel valuable. Because when you truly believe that, your silence carries weight. It's not a tactic, it's your reality. And reality always wins over games. Distance is not rejection. It's a mirror. It reflects to her how much she actually values you. Think about it. When you're constantly close, she never has the space to question how much you mean. But when you pull back, when you choose silence instead of instant validation, her mind begins to race. She replays your last conversation. She analyzes your tone. She even starts wondering if someone else has your attention. That space you created, it becomes the breeding ground for desire. Because desire only grows in the presence of uncertainty. Let me reveal something most men never realize. Attraction thrives in the unknown. If she knows every thought you have, every move you'll make, every feeling you'll confess, there's nothing left to discover. But when you hold back, when you let her wonder, her imagination does the heavy lifting. She fills in the silence with stories. Stories of you being powerful, mysterious, and in demand. That story she creates in her head is far more intoxicating than anything you could ever explain with words. Women don't fall for men who suffocate them with certainty. They fall for men who allow them to earn clarity, piece by piece. That's why ignoring works. It positions you as a man who doesn't need to overshare, who doesn't need to prove, who doesn't need to constantly remind her of his presence. You simply exist, quietly strong, and she finds herself orbiting around you. But here's the danger. Many men hear this and go to extremes. They vanish completely. They ignore out of spite. They weaponize silence as punishment. That's not strength. That's insecurity wearing a mask. True distance isn't about cruelty. It's about restraint. It's the decision to withhold your attention until it is truly deserved. It's the refusal to give what is not being reciprocated. It's about balance. When you understand this balance, something shifts. She realizes your attention is valuable because you don't hand it out recklessly. She starts to measure her own actions, wondering if she's doing enough to keep your focus. Suddenly, you're no longer the man chasing her approval. You're the man whose approval she seeks. That shift is where respect, attraction, and commitment are born. Distance doesn't push her away. It pulls her in if you know how to wield it. Every human being fears losing something they value. But for women, especially in relationships, the fear of losing a man's attention is one of the deepest triggers. Why? Because attention is survival in the social and emotional sense. When you stop giving it, when you create silence, she doesn't just feel neglected, she feels uncertain. And uncertainty makes the mind cling tighter, not let go. Picture this. She's used to you responding instantly, liking her posts, calling her first, giving her the reassurance she craves. She knows where she stands with you. Then suddenly, you don't. You stop over-explaining. You stop chasing. You become unavailable, not rudely, but intentionally. That small disruption ignites panic. She starts asking, is he pulling away? Did I do something wrong? Is he losing interest? That fear of loss doesn't weaken attraction, it intensifies it. Because now, your attention is no longer guaranteed. And whatever isn't guaranteed feels more valuable. This is why ignoring works. It creates contrast. Abundance followed by absence forces her to notice what she took for granted. She realizes your energy, your time, your validation were never free resources. They were privileges, and privileges can be revoked. Once she feels the sting of that possibility, she moves differently. She invests, she initiates, she fights to close the gap you created. But here's where most men fail. They try to use ignoring as a trick rather than a truth. They ghost randomly. They play hot and cold with no foundation. They confuse inconsistency with mystery. And women can smell the weakness in that. True ignoring isn't random, it's earned. It happens when she disrespects you, when she takes without giving, when she assumes you'll always be there no matter what. That's when your silence speaks louder than words. Not out of anger, not out of games, but out of self-respect. Understand this. Women respect the man who can walk away more than the man who chases endlessly. It's not the gifts, the compliments, or the effort that seal attraction. It's the underlying message that says, I am enough with or without you. That message shakes her because deep down, she knows men like that are rare, and rare is irresistible. Fear of loss doesn't destroy love. It forges it into something sharper, something real. Emotions are not logical. They don't follow straight lines. They follow waves. A woman doesn't fall for a man because everything feels smooth and consistent. She falls because her emotions are triggered, heightened, and intensified. Ignoring, when done with intention, taps directly into this emotional circuitry. It forces her to feel highs and lows, and those fluctuations are what bond her to you more powerfully than constant comfort ever could. Let me explain. When you give her non-stop attention, she feels safe, but not excited. She appreciates it, but her emotional state flatlines. There are no spikes, no anticipation, no longing, and human beings bond stronger through contrast than through comfort. When you ignore her at the right moments, you introduce that contrast. She feels your presence, then she feels your absence. She experiences the tension of not knowing what you'll do next. And the brain attaches stronger to things that are unpredictable than to things that are guaranteed. This is why women often remember the man who challenged them, who kept them guessing, who wasn't afraid to step back. He left a stronger imprint than the one who was always nice, but predictable. Ignoring rewires her emotional pattern with you. Instead of assuming she has you fully, she starts working to earn you. Instead of coasting, she invests. And the more she invests, the more attached she becomes. But there's a key here: intention. If you ignore out of immaturity, hoping to punish her or make her beg, you'll fail. If you ignore inconsistently, without self-control, she'll just see you as careless. But if your silence is tied to your standards, if you pull back when disrespected, if you distance when she gives nothing, if you remain calm when she tests you, that silence becomes your strength. It teaches her how to treat you. It conditions her emotions, not through words, but through action. She begins to feel that your attention is not automatic, it must be earned. And that realization is powerful, because once a woman feels she has to earn a man, she becomes emotionally invested in ways she doesn't even fully understand. It's not manipulation, it's nature. And here's the ultimate irony. By ignoring at the right moments, you actually make her crave your presence even more. So here's the truth, laid bare. Ignoring a woman is not about cruelty. It's not about proving who has more power. It's about understanding that attention is your greatest currency. And if you give it away without thought, you'll always be broke in love. Women don't fall for men who hand them everything. They fall for men who know their worth. Men who understand that silence can speak louder than any words. Men who make them earn what is valuable. The dark psychology behind ignoring is simple yet profound. People chase what they fear losing. When you step back, when you hold your ground, when you stop drowning her in validation, you force her to face her own uncertainty. And that uncertainty doesn't push her away, it pulls her closer. Because suddenly, you're not just another man in the crowd. You're the man she can't quite figure out, the man she wants to win, the man she fears losing. But let me be clear, this power comes with responsibility. If you ignore recklessly, you'll come across as immature. If you ignore without real strength inside, she'll see through it. But if you master yourself, if you truly believe you are enough with or without her, then ignoring becomes natural. It's not a tactic anymore. It's simply the way a strong man lives. You're not ignoring to manipulate. You're ignoring because you refuse to beg. You're ignoring because you have standards. You're ignoring because your life, your purpose, and your self-respect are bigger than one person's validation. And here's the part women will never admit out loud. They respect men who can walk away more than men who cling. That's the paradox. The moment you stop needing her is the moment she feels she needs you most. Ignoring doesn't just change how she sees you, it changes how you see yourself. You stop being the desperate man chasing approval, and you become the grounded man who commands it. So ask yourself right now, are you the man who gives his attention freely, hoping it'll buy love? Or are you the man who understands its value, who chooses when, and who deserves it? Answer that in the comments below. And if this opened your eyes, hit like, subscribe, and share this with a friend who desperately needs to hear it. Because sometimes, silence is the loudest lesson a man can ever learn.